So did you guys hear the news?
Coffee.
Wait,
I sure do love these in-between class coffee breaks.
There we go.
The news isn't about to be that the coffee breaks are ending, is it?
Oh no.
No.
The Keurig broke down. Sorry, fellas.
What kind of high school gets a Keurig?
It's a vending machine, you know? We have a
vending
vending machine to
A vending machine Keurig.
It spits out the Keurig cups, and then we take the Keurig cups over to the Keurig machine, you know?
I was on I thought it like spit out Keurig machines.
Yeah.
Just
At my high school, we actually had a couple of teachers who had like Keurigs in their classroom, so that was cool.
I went to a really poor high school, so that was like non-existent.
My high school had textbooks. We didn't have doors, though.
I mean,
I'm
we had
serious.
that one.
My school was too poor for doors.
Damn, that's bad.
Like, even the boys' bathrooms didn't have doors on the
That's
stalls.
the two ends of the economic spectrum, though. Either
Keurig
you're
vending
too poor
machines
for
and no
doors.
doors.
No. You're either too poor for doors, or you're too new wave hipster, and you like don't believe. And it's just like no walls, no doors, an entirely open floor plan, just like a giant room as a school.
Just everything
I
goes full
think
circle.
that's actually what was going on, but it's just funnier to say too poor for doors.
God.
It was an
What's
artistic.
the news, Matt?
What's the news? The news is that anime strike is dead.
Oh my god.
Did you guys not know? Like it's definitely not all over the news constantly.
I mean, it's not like we've been talking about it for the past week when going over potential topics for our hallway chat. I didn't know.
Yeah, but still, either way, that's kind of nuts though if you really think about it. Anime strike is actually dead, which I think Jeff made a whole video on it.
Yeah,
That
I
really
made
brought
that
up
video on
a valid point that. Well, I guess Pedro, you would know for sure since you're freaking Jeff's editor. But he brought up the valid point that the competition is now gone, which is kind of scary.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
because-
how long did Anime Strike exist?
About a year.
Yeah, so, like, what were we doing before then in terms of competition? We were fine. The competition is the pirate site still.
Here's one thing. In response to the entry of players like Netflix and Amazon, the merging of sorts between Crunchyroll and Funimation, their little partnership there, was encouraged. Whereas previously they were sort of the two primary competitors, I'd say. The seasonals would be divvied up between the two of them. They, combined to merge their catalogs, just with Funny handling the dubs and CR doing the subs. So now that whole, sort of the paradigm shifted. The previous primary competition is no more because they were just eliminated by Amazon moving in, but now that Amazon's gone as well, there's just a bit of a vacuum there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's gonna be kind of like I said. I'm a strong believer in competition. We had that debate a while back where I think that Crunchyroll really needs to make steps into improving their player just in general.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
yesterday, I had friends over. We were doing an anime night. We are just gonna chill and watch Blend S, which is an amazing show, and I did
No,
not
it's
realize.
not.
I am making a video on it currently.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
Matt. God. You're
But,
allowed to like it. You aren't allowed to think it's good.
I admit I am OA trash. Either way, we're fucking just watching the anime, and Crunchyroll crashed on us like 5-6 times. Just
Well,
cause.
Crunchyroll was just down yesterday for a while.
Yeah, that was the combined force of the new Cardcaptor Sakura and a new episode of Dragon Ball Super.
God damn it, Dragon Ball.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but my point still stands
Yeah,
is that
stopped.
if you're the biggest anime streaming site and you get, I think last time I looked it up, they average 54 million hits a month. No, my bad. Was it 54 million or I don't know? It's something ludicrous, and you're getting taken down by like new episodes of shows coming up. Like, come on, like you're making money hand over fist.
But then again, PlayStation Network goes down, Xbox Live goes down. So I mean, I'm not saying it's unfair to criticize company shortcomings in that way, but I think there is a specific Crunchyroll is terrible, where it's I mean, it's more like of a typical industry shortcoming for stuff that's on the internet to like go down and have issues from time to time. It doesn't make it acceptable, but it does like add some perspective and prevent Crunchyroll from being this like specific, unique devil in that regard, as it's sometimes portrayed as.
Yeah, well, I mean, my thing is that's just one of many examples that Crunchyroll has.
I stopped using them a few years ago. At that time, I had been using them, but and I think my internet wasn't great, and my computer was like weird and glitchy, so that was part of it. But their videos would just buffer a ton, and there were other sites where I could go and they would not. So whatever they were doing, even if it was partially on my end, other places were better. And like I'm on a new rig and a new internet, so that's not like an issue anymore. But there definitely are just like technical shortcomings that do reasonably and fairly turn viewers off from the site. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
So that was one of the problems I had with my desktop, which is really good. I have like a hard line connection, and I'll have problems with Crunchyroll, like loading videos sometimes. And I know why it is. It's because the way the videos are embedded, it's impossible to download the videos while also being able to stream them through like any services. So the idea behind the whole reason why there's so much buffering and why it's so hard is because they're doing everything in their power to prevent piracy.
Right.
Which is ironic because piracy is rampant and there's no way they could stop it. And I think it's just one of those things where it's like, just go back to your regular player, let people download it. It's not a freaking big deal. And then improve your site overall.
Well, doesn't that actually also go back through Crunchyroll's history as a pirate site? So, like, do you think it could be a way of convincing anime companies that they're actually legit?
I don't think that's too likely. That, like, the security measures are excessive now, primarily, like, sort of as a show of trust, where otherwise they wouldn't be. I think Japanese companies are sort of relatively demanding, so they're at wherever they would be at.
And I just have opinions about Crunchyroll, and then especially Funimation. Funimation's website is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Have you ever tried to navigate through Funimation's website? It is just atrocious.
Not in a while, but back then I did also watch stuff on their site. I think they switched from their own native player to Hulu because they had like a partnership with Hulu, so a bunch of stuff was up on there. And Hulu was like alright, but their own player was garbage, and now I don't think they're with Hulu anymore. So I don't know what they're working with.
I'm not entirely sure, but I just remember like one time I was trying to watch Fully Cooley, and I want to watch the sub because I'm a sub fan. I'm one of those weird people, and I could not find the sub to save my life, even though I know they had the rights to it. So I was gonna just watch the dub. I watched episode 1, and then I could not find my way to episode 2. And I just gave up and just went to freaking Kiss Anime. I was like, screw it. I'm trying to watch this legally, but you just won't let me.
Their shop is kind of poopy too. Just like navigating it loads super slowly, and also unlike something like a Right Stuff doesn't let you have like 96 items on a page as opposed to 12. So you both have to have these long, slow loading pages and go through a ton of them if you want to browse.
Opinions?
Not really. One thing that I'm curious about with this whole potential lack of competition thing is, are we going to get any more pirate sites trying to go legit, like Crunchyroll did?
I know Jeff brought up a site that is legit already.
High Dive.
That's apparently High Dive. I want to look into that one. I haven't actually ever been on High Dive.
They're pretty cool. What would be interesting is to see like where they came from, because they kind of just sprung out of the ether, as far as the limits of my own knowledge pool extend. So I want to know like what dude or what company got them up. I mean, Daisuke just died a few months back as well. That was sent set up back in like 2013 or 14 by a bunch of anime companies, actually, I believe, like on the Japan side, distributors or whatever. But they like just were never able to really make it a thing effectively, and so it just languished in obscurity for years and finally shut down.
Yeah, I liked IC actually. I used their website a little bit. I used it to watch One Punch Man when it first came out.
It had as far as I could tell when I was using it, it didn't have the ability to set your resolution. And it would like dynamically swap between resolutions instead of buffering. And so it would like go into like 480 or even 240p for me a bunch of the time, which was pretty frustrating.
I'd almost rather not watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Je ne sais quoi.
Torrenting is the real solution, though, because
Honestly,
it's both superior, and torrenters are like a tiny, minuscule fragment of the piracy community, if you will.
Well,
so
they
you
were until you mentioned that on our extremely popular podcast, and now that you've given your endorsement, over 500
people.
So you can actually avoid a lot of the guilt of piracy through torrenting because you aren't part of the problem. I mean, in the sense that you aren't, part of this subset that's draining millions of views from legal sites. You're part of one that's like taking a few thousand, maybe. Miles even like will tacitly say like, yeah, the torrenting's fine because it's like it's just not an issue for him, and he has the numbers on that stuff to a better degree than most.
You're not robbing the bank, you're robbing the mailman. There's a difference.
yeah, honestly, I guess that's the big thing to come out of Anime Strike for me is that like finally I caved and I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch Made in Abyss, and so I didn't watch it on Anime Strike. But
yeah, I bet Anime Strike did get a number of people to like turn illegal. Netflix definitely has, I'd imagine, because it's just to me the moral choice if they're holding something from simulcasting to go get the simulcast experience of your own accord through, illicit means. Because fuck them.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't understand that. Like, why do they? I mean, I guess I see the idea as like this binging culture.
Well,
but I don't think
if you saw, they are simulcasting Violet Evergarden.
just not.
Oh, that's good.
Not in the US, though.
Are you fucking serious?
They're doing it in like Europe, I think, and a bunch of other countries. More Western ones. Just not, fucking America.
Nope.
Yeah, fuck America, am I right?
Yeah, there are fewer and fewer reasons to stay here.
Yeah, every day.
I think in their defense, like I think it was like they realized that both the hype for Violet Evergarden and the frustrations with the lack of simulcasting, so like furiously renegotiating licenses and stuff with it. And like if we want to be charitable, I'd presume they just like couldn't get America's flipped or something.
That's a shame.
Possibly.
Well, no reason for me to reopen my Netflix account.
No reason for me to steal my Netflix account. I mean,
Man, like, what's the deal with Violet Evergarden? Because I've seen the hype around it, obviously, and I've seen like PVs, and it looks beautiful, but I don't really get what it is.
From what I've seen, the sort of core of the story is the development of the main character over the course of it.
Right, like every Kyoto Annie show.
I mean, honestly, the way she's being talked about is sort of the way Foss was being talked about. It's like, a personal story, about the character, they grow and change, blah, 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 all that stuff. I feel like it may have like a bit of a Tegami Bachi vibe
You lost
to
me.
it.
Interesting.
The
No.
letter V. But not quite as like anthology-ish. Maybe some of the cool people in the audience will know what I'm talking about. And I honestly, it is weird. I think part of the hype is just like that first PV had a sword in it, because like action is such an important component of connecting to the huge normie mainstream of anime viewers.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's gonna be a ton of action and fighting. Maybe there will be, but like that's just, a sword. We can because
we're allowed to like this now.
It's got swords.
There's a perception in Japan among anime producers there that to sort of sell in the West, to sell in America, action is a big thing. You need so. They, across the board have higher hopes. That's why they premiered the first episode or two at AX last year.
Should have gone. I had the opportunity to go too. I just didn't go. Now I'm jelly.
We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see how widespread, how mainstream it can get. I definitely think the chance it had to do so was severely stymied by it being on Netflix and not being simulcast in America. Maybe those simulcasts in other places will give it a bump, but it's an interesting case for certain.
I think here's the thing. So if it's going for the normie audience, going for Netflix was definitely the best idea, because that's where most of. So I feel bad using this word unironically. I have a lot of normie friends who are into anime, and that's where they watch all their anime. None of them watch Crunchyroll. None of them are on Funimation. They're all on Netflix. Mm-hmm. So I think like if you want to hit that super mainstream audience, Netflix is the place to go. The only problem with Netflix, though, is the obvious fact that they're not simulcasting it in America. I think if they just fix that one problem, this show could be the next like One Punch Man.
I don't think I could get that big.
And popularity, and not like just how much it would blow
up. One Punch
up.
Man had the superhero aspect, which is huge for broadening that mainstream reach, and I just don't think there's an element of Violet Evergarden that'd really give it that same level of widespreadness. I mean, people like they could be watching Daredevil or Jessica Jones or whatever on Netflix and conceivably get recommended One Punch Man. Have it somewhere there just because it's a superhero tag.
I mean, I'm making a lot of assumptions here, so don't take me on my word for that. I'm just saying that would be like if I was the producer and I was like, let's get this as mainstream as possible, that would be the route I would take. I wouldn't go for Crunchyroll or anything like that. I think that's pretty smart.
I mean, Netflix had my trust. I mean, that's how I got into anime, but then they didn't have all the episodes of Hunter x Hunter, and that was the end of that.
They did go with Netflix relatively late in development, licensing, what have you. A lot of these other series are sort of like Netflix is on from the start, even on a production committee level. I mean, sometimes in the case of Devilman, like, they are the producers of the show. But this was like, KyoAni had it made, and then like they shopped around and just went with Netflix there. So presumably that reach, it's been theorized by people in the know that was part of sort of the Netflix pitch to them, and they were looking for that mainstream reach with the distribution there.
Now, like with the show already like being made, or however much if it's complete or like if they have a bunch of it done already, like how common is that among shows? Because I know most of the time they're produced
not at all. It's
so like
is
it KyoAni's thing, or is it like a one-time thing? Because I know
it's KyoAni's thing typically. Like Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, I think it was episode 8 or 9 when that broadcast, like the whole crew was out on their like post show vacation, whatever, because that show was completely done production, and Kobayashi's Dragon Maid was like a sort of rushed, late, somewhat haphazard production by KyoAni standards, and they were done 3/4 into its runtime. They're just insane.
That's great. That's why
they
I
can
love
afford
this studio.
to have one cut of the PV that literally took like 8 months to animate.
Jeez.
So,
and I mean, just
they're all set.
Look at the visual quality of all their stuff, and that's not surprising. Because I mean, they had episodes 1 and 2 finished for those pre-screening previews like
7 months before the show is gonna start airing.
Like,
That's what confused me so much about like Anime Expos. We had all these like episode 1s of things, and then like none of it came out for. I mean, like I said, we're still waiting on Violet Evergarden. Like shit, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off. What
no,
were you saying?
it's not relevant anymore, Matt.
Oh no.
I changed the subject.
I was gonna say that that like you all know I don't watch anime.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean I watch even less of like the behind the scenes stuff. I don't know anything about studios. KyoAni is like the one studio I know anything about because of the visual quality of all their shit.
Everyone who likes it is a fucking proselytizer for it, and we're gonna induct you into the cult whether you want it or not.
I don't know. I don't particularly like KyoAni's things. I'll admit that they're beautiful, and like as human dramas, they're typically pretty fucking great. But that's just not my kind of thing that I like to watch. Like Hibike, for example, beautiful show, with great characterization too. Just not something I like watching.
Then again, you haven't
You're
seen
allowed
a
to
ton
have
of
an opinion.
anime. How many KyoAni shows have you seen? Was
I've
it just TBK?
Excuse me, how many? I've seen Hibike. I've
And
seen
Kobayashi.
Haruhi Suzumiya was KyoAni, right?
Yeah.
That's a bad example of one.
Yeah, it's not like the rest of their stuff.
Fucking pieces of shit.
We're gonna fight over this later. Anyway, continue.
Well, it can't be an episode of Hallway Chats without a fight. Let's see. I've seen Hibike. I've seen Haruhi Suzumiya. I feel like there's another one. I'm checking my anime list now. I haven't seen Kobayashi, but that's on my list.
Oh, that one's like one of the best shows.
I figured. Let's see. I don't see another one on my anime list.
Okay.
But
If
I
you,
feel like
the
there is
easiest
one.
way to look would be to go to the Kyoto Animation like studio listing on Mal. Actually,
yeah,
and you could
that
scroll
sounds
through
like
that.
a lot of effort.
No, you click on the Hibike on your list there, and then there's the studio listing on the side. You got it right there.
That's like 3 clicks though.
Do it for
a lot.
me. Send me a link.
You could send me a link to your Mal, and I can look through your Mal for you to see what KyoAni shows you watched. Yeah, if you really want that.
Even
Brian.
more effort, and I'm tempted to do it because of that.
Or you could tell me your Mal username, and I could look it up on my end without
exclamation
you.
point.
Oh my god, this is getting overkill now.
Free was KyoAni. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wasn't a big Free fan.
No, Evan is in love with Free.
I've gotta give.
He has a
give
mug with his
Free a
favorite ship
watch.
on it.
What I'm really fucking hyped for is their cute archery boys anime. I have the picture save the promo image, because these are some beautiful boys.
See, I was into All Out. Like that was my like yaoi
yeah,
beat
yeah.
anime. That one was solid.
Where are they?
All Out. Yuri on Ice, obviously.
Right.
With no Yuri at all. That pissed me off.
Yeah.
That's
Here we go.
quite the shame.
God.
Oh, Nichijou. I've seen quite a bit of Nichijou.
I might watch this show. This one looks good. The show looks good.
God. They're so fucking good.
Oh God. I hope this show winds up being good. Evan needs a new show.
Yeah.
You never know. This looks exciting.
And it's about
yes.
archery, which is
It
just like
looks
cool
exciting.
and interesting.
I've never actually seen an archery-based anime.
And it's
kind of
gonna
interesting.
be, like the most stunningly crafted and portrayed archery ever. Because it's
Who's it
KyoAni.
by? It's KyoAni. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
yeah.
it's gonna look gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm totally gonna watch this show.
I'm gonna watch the first episode of it.
It's gonna be
We'll see
so
how the rest of
good
it goes.
that I'm
God, you're
gonna watch the
such
first
a
episode.
newbie anime fan, Brian. It's so
I know.
hilarious. It's so adorable.
You get to show me so many things.
That's like one of my favorite things about like finding new people in the anime. And like, here, I need you to watch this show. You're gonna watch Toradora, then you're gonna watch My Hero Academia, then you're gonna watch One Punch Man. It's great. It's like you're sending them on a little hunt, and they come back to you each time like, oh my god, this show was so amazing.
I'm watching
And then
Cowboy Bebop for the first time.
That's a good show. It's a classic.
Yeah.
My favorite is when I had a guy come up, one of my coworkers who's like new to anime. He's like, oh, I finally found an anime I think you haven't seen yet. He's like, it's pretty good. I'm like, all right, sure. He's like, shoot it at me. It's like, it's called The Legend of Legendary Heroes. And I just kind of like shook my head back and forth and like, okay.
There is
poor thing.
That's not Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and she's fucking it up. Legend of the Legendary Heroes is its own
Legend.
thing.
Yeah, it's fucking like a really shitty shonen. It's like barely better than Black Clover.
Man,
I watched like 10 episodes of it and then dropped it.
If it's barely better than Black Clover, then I'm surprised you got 10 episodes in.
Well, that's how I got through 10 episodes. I mean, I made it through like 15 episodes of not 15. I'm like current with Black Clover right now.
Why are you
actually.
still current? Your video series is over. What are you doing?
I don't know. They haven't they had a bye week last week, and then they haven't put the new video up this week. So that's the only reason why. Okay.
Yes,
Sure,
just
sure
those
it is.
two on your Mal, Bryant. Nichijou isn't in here.
I feel oddly violated that you're going through my mouth. I mean, I
It's
know
linked on your fucking
implicitly-
YouTube channel.
I know I implicitly gave you
Weirdo.
permission and it's online, but that is sacred, okay? That is just a list of all of the anime that I've seen.
It's a
You
list
don't
of
just
your
look at a person's
shortcomings.
anime list.
Oh my god, have you had a subscriber go through your anime list and then kind of judge you for it yet?
Probably. I don't really read the comments
Not
on my
that I've
anime list.
seen. Yeah. Not that
God,
I've seen.
I had this guy come onto my anime list and leave a comment. He's clearly like someone who watches my videos, and he was like judging me for like my ratings for certain shows. And so he was like, "Wow, you gave what was it? Angel Beats a 10? Like really?" I'm like, "Shut the hell up!" Like,
To be fair,
I can give
like,
whatever the fuck I
really?
want a 10. Dude, I love Angel Beats. Angel Beats is like a classic in my heart. Okay.
I mean, it's
I love it.
okay. Like, I understand why you'd like the music.
Well, okay, it was one of my first shows.
Okay.
Is Brian
So, like, it has a
doing that
special
thing
place
again?
in my
Animation
heart.
quality's kinda off in a lot of places.
I can't
Yeah,
tell
it's,
if
like,
Brian's
super
being
nice at
serious
some
right now or
points,
The
not.
story doesn't make much sense.
Oh yeah, that's right. Is Brian just saying this shit right now?
Yeah, I've
Oh,
never
no,
seen
he's not.
Angel Beats. Never
seen
link
Angel
to my Mal on my channel page.
I was about to say. I was like, you really like. I was like, wait, you're talking about the art? The art's really good in Angel Beats, actually.
No, it sucks.
Fight me, son. Fight me, son.
No, I've never had anybody just go point by point dismantling my Mal, but I did
I
get a
feel
lot
like
of
I'd
flack when
enjoy
people
Angel
found out
Beats.
that I rated Evangelion a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I mean, people don't like people who
I don't blame
criticize
them.
Evangelion. Yeah? Are we gonna have another fight, Pedro?
We already had
Are we
an
gonna have
Evangelion
a fight about why Evangelion is
Are we gonna
trash?
fight about Evangelion literally every episode? Because we did it
No.
last week too.
No, we're gonna fight about Evangelion being trash again.
I don't know, man. I feel like the art was kind of off point sometimes. The
Yeah,
story
I
didn't
agree.
make much sense.
For once, speaking from an informed position, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. People got onto me for that. I think I'm mostly okay with all my other ratings. Some people don't understand why I give Oron a 10.
No, Oron's a fucking masterpiece. That's
Yeah,
why.
I know, right?
Everyone likes Oran.
It's my honorary 10. And
I
I
have it
think
as
it
a
might just
9.
be an actual 10.
You know what you should watch if you're a fan
What
of
should I
Oron? You should watch fucking Ikuhara's shows. Because the director of Oran High School Host Club, Igarashi, is descended from the Ikuhara School of Directing. He draws heavy influence from him, so you may very well be a fan. And Kunihiko Ikuhara is one of the greatest directors of all time. He's great.
Okay.
See, here's the thing. You could just be saying names and bullshitting things, and I would be like, yeah, I agree. Because I have no fucking clue who you're talking about.
I mean, they
feel
both
bad
descend
sometimes.
from, a sort of synthesis of the Junichi Sato and Osamu Dezaki schools of directing. So if you
Oh,
really
is that
wanna
like the
get
Jimataro
Schools of
go?
directing.
on them, that would be the stylistic influences to trace back. But now I'm just fucking flexing because I'm a geek and I need this in my life.
Because I have
Those were all accurate though.
I'm from I took a fucking I don't know how people like spend that much time and like understand that much into like Japanese
I said like 4 names.
history.
I'm not that. I promise.
I see. I can't even. Here's the thing. I'll have a name in front of me and I can't pronounce it.
My favorite
fucking sitting here
director
listing
is
shit off the top of your head.
Hideaki Miyazaki. My favorite.
I know enough to know that is not a director.
Or do you?
It's Hideaki Anno and Hayao Miyazaki. I know.
It's Hayao Miyazaki's second son that he named after Anno because they're good friends.
Sure.
He does have a second son, actually. That part's not a lie.
I didn't know how many sons that he had. That wasn't what I was questioning.
I didn't know he had sons. Learning things.
You didn't know Goro Miyazaki? Director of
I mean, you're
From Up on
lambasting
Poppy
us
Hill,
for this, but no, we didn't.
Ronja's The Robber's Daughter. He did Tales from Earthsea.
I'm really sorry, Pedro. You see, I have this thing called Friends.
I'm not sure I
really
heard
spent a
any
lot
of
of my
these
time
things.
with them instead of fucking researching this shit.
I mean, I'm not proud of my ignorance. Like, I'm not proud that I don't know these things, but I also don't know these things.
I won't deny the fact that I am not well versed in the industry itself. Hence why almost none of my videos are about the industry. Smart like that.
But the industry is so cool.
That is your opinion.
I'm glad you like the industry.
You can keep making videos about the industry. No one will fight you on
Someone has
that.
to.
And like all my biggest videos of the past forever are on the industry. It's hot. Hop on this.
Except
Hot
for your
topic.
video about the King's Avatar.
Oh yeah, that's the only one that's not hot.
No.
Oh, wait,
the
I
only
got-
one
wait, I
that's
wanna
not
bring
about
this
the
up.
Industry.
Alex, your video with are you gonna get sued?
Oh yeah, so like my MMO
Wait,
junkie
what?
video.
That's kind of important.
Did they deny your appeal?
Well, with the MMO junkie video, so I got the thing from Victor, whatever the thing,
Right.
fuck it. Yeah, so I got that. I disputed that. I won that. Then I got another. It got flagged again by Molebeat, which apparently that's a group that has done a bunch of
those
stuff.
are way worse.
Yeah. So they didn't immediately strike me, so when I disputed it, like there's another step to it, which is what I'm going through right now. Apparently you can actually see the video on my channel again while it's being disputed, so that's nice. But I guess if they dispute this or reject it, then I'm back to the strike thing, and then if they reject that, then I'll get sued. So I have another step to go yet.
Yeah, don't worry. Most of the time, they take it up to the last step before they have to sue because they're fucking assholes. But they don't take that last step.
Yeah,
almost
Molebeat's
any
an
case.
infamous for always like trying to bully channels. I've never seen them like actually pursue a lawsuit.
They just got to milk it for all it's worth.
Basically, they're just trying to like bully you into. I hear like if you you fight them back once completely, they'll just back off. They'll back down.
Yeah, I mean,
They
especially
won't
with
come for you a second time.
especially with the change where if you're making a copyright claim, you don't actually get the money for free. YouTube holds it and then gives it to the winner. The only thing they're trying to do at this point is scare you into ceding and giving them that that money that YouTube's holding. If they see that you're not someone who's sort of ignorant enough of the issue to give into that, they're just gonna give up.
The disappointing thing about this is that the video was demonetized like immediately. So while going through all this copyright stuff, I don't think like YouTube has actually gone through to remonetize it. So nobody's getting anything. So haha.
Yeah. No, my
And is it any different just on regular YouTube at this point?
Hey.
my Tomoyo Kurosawa video has been demonetized for all 80k view hears by KyoAni.
Ooh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Damn.
See, I fight any like demonetization thing I get unless it's for music. But I don't use like copyrighted music anymore.
Yeah, the dispute's in progress, but it's gonna be a month here.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that if you're disputing, that means the money's going into a pool.
No, see,
And-
here's the thing. If they claim monetization, the money goes into a pool. What they
they're
can
not
do
claiming?
is they can just like say, you're not allowed, no one's allowed to monetize that, and there is no money being made to be put into a pool.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
So because they know they're gonna lose, so that's like the only way they can kind of like.
I'm
hinder
not
you.
sure. I'd imagine that the policy, the mindset behind that is more so just like they don't want people making money off of their stuff. It removes that like just the general shitty feeling of people profiting off of your work. It removes an incentive for people to upload your work just for like pure profit.
Well, I know.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Well, for like, I did a video on All Out, and the company that produced All Out made a claim on the video, and they monetized it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a monetized video. I mean, I fought back and won it and got the money back, but it was just kind of like, I don't know. Maybe it's just different companies have different policies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like turned into like from anime strike into talking about copyright issues.
So how about those copyrights on Anime Strike?
It's an anime strike.
Did you guys get any copyright strikes for your Anime Strike video?
No, I mean there wasn't like anything for the system to pick up. Were shows licensed by Anime Strike particularly prone to having copyright issues on YouTube? Generally, that's more on like the producer side itself, so the platform streaming it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just making a joke saying strike a
Anime
lot.
strike, more like anime
Copyright
went on strike. Yeah.
Ah,
We're like anime 3 strikes, you're out. Boom.
I said the thing.
Because it's dead.
Yeah,
I'm
because
funny.
it's dead.
That was a baseball reference. Has anyone seen any baseball anime?
Is there like any anime that's not a baseball anime?
I've seen many
For some
baseball
reason-
episodes. Yeah, I haven't seen a baseball anime.
Japan seems to be a little obsessed with baseball, like because I've seen so many different shows have like a baseball episode. And it's like, oh, it's like the greatest sport ever. I'm like, really? Like it's pretty fucking boring.
Baseball is
I've played a
big
lot of
in
baseball.
Japan, but I'd say it's more just it's just something as a trope that's become incorporated into the medium as the reason behind their prevalence, more so than like a particular cultural fascination with it.
It's kind of like the beach episode, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Except like a bit more interesting and weirder, because like the beach episode's presence makes sense. Like, it serves a specific purpose. Fan serves a specific purpose, you might say. Whereas
But tisk.
the baseball episode is just this sort of like nostalgic, familiar storytelling mainstay at this point, devoid of that like specific end it's a means to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to think, like, because you have like The Girl Who Left Through Time, which is like baseball is like one of the main things in that movie. There's like a few, like Angel Beats
Yeah,
has a baseball episode.
It Just Because uses baseball similarly to how The Girl Who Leapt Through Time uses it, which is as this sort of activity that unites a few characters and has this nostalgic element for them.
That's one more reason for me to watch Just Because I played a lot of baseball growing up, so that's another thing I can connect to. Yay.
Yeah.
Well, I heard Just Because kind of flopped. I heard it wasn't that good.
No, I think it's a great show.
That's
I didn't
Is
like
it?
it all that much.
What did I end up giving it?
I've heard like mixed opinions on it, because I know like Team 4-Star does their weekly thing or whatever, and they killed it off pretty quickly, but like I also heard that it's very similar to Skigakure, so I'm like, I want to watch this show.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Like it started sort of. I think it started decent. It started pretty good. And then for the first few episodes following that, it was a bit shaky. But it steadily improved over the course of its run after those initial few episodes.
Because that's done by the same studio that did Gamers.
Mm-hmm. Pine Jam.
So Studio Pine Jam. So I don't know. I look forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably watch it just because I want to see how Pine Jam does. Because like they're brand new. Like I think
Yeah, it was
Gamers was their first anime.
Yeah. just because it was a very fraught production. Like week 3, I think, the director went on Twitter and like had a bit of a Twitter breakdown that he deleted soon after.
Oh no.
Where he was just talking about how messy the production was and like the company or someone was screwing them over and like it's a disaster. And you could see like the animation was sort of inconsistent and shaky throughout. But that was largely because it was very ambitious overall in the degree of sort of subtle character acting that they wanted to have throughout the series. And so in spite of the sort of unpolishedness of that character acting, it was present, and impressive in that capacity. Later sort of comments from people close to the situation said that the issues there were largely that director's fault and not really like something that could be ascribed to the company or anyone else. He just was a bit too unorganized, was a bit too ambitious with it, and sort of it collapsed under the weight of that ambition. But I mean, nonetheless, they got through it. They did have to do, I think, one recap episode, but they made it through it, and it's overall a decent production just because of what they did manage to do with it, even if they didn't manage to do as much as they would have hoped.
I'm hearing all of this, like, production issues, recap episodes. I'm like, oh yeah, so it is Skigakure.
Yeah. Yeah, these struggling, grounded original romance series.
They're so good, though.
Yeah. Not the sort of the excellence of storyboarding that Skigakure brought to the table, but characters that I think are a bit more endearing.
Haven't seen more than the first episode of it.
It also doesn't have the jarring CG, which is nice.
Yeah.
Jarring CG of
Skigakure.
Skigakure.
Yeah, that was a little weird. I still like hardcore rep Skigakure for like their pacing and like how they hold silence. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Whoever was like in charge of like the timing was like fucking on point.
I'd imagine that would be the sound director, but that also like could have been in conjunction with just the director of the series or alongside him.
Yeah, it would have had to be in conjunction because like it's a thing of like a lot of productions, at least for filmmaking, is sound comes last. It's like, oh yeah, just put sound over the everything else. But every once in a while, like a production like Skigakure comes out where it's like, all right, like sound's there the whole time. They're like working together to make something.
Let's see.
That's a good question. Whoever he was, I want to see what he does next.
Or maybe what they've already done. Because maybe...
Yeah, basically.
But he can only watch seasonals. He can't go back and watch what he did previously. He just has to hope he makes something else. So he has the ability to watch.
Dude, that's my life now. I have to like watch only seasonals. Time is so short. It's sad.
I'm here like I'll be one season in, one season out. Like I had the MMO Junkie last season, but I missed most of it. But like the season before that, I was into stuff.
Yeah.
It is by... Oh, it doesn't have...
The sound director was Satoki Ida, who's done a bunch of stuff, so I wouldn't
How do you know about sound directors?
I looked it up while we were talking.
Okay.
He's done a bunch of stuff.
I thought you were about to list off from memory just a huge list of 15 things.
I don't know sound directors from memory, no.
Pedro's sitting here fucking flexing again. Go ahead.
He did do the sound direction on Angel Beats, though, Manime, so maybe...
okay,
something you like.
Lachlan doesn't know sound directors. This is your opportunity to win.
He also did Charlotte.
Oh, wow,
Charlotte.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. He works a lot with, I guess...
Maeda, Jun Maeda. I got it. Nothing gets past me.
No, I'm trying to think. So, Skigakure, Charlotte...
The composer
really good job.
for Skigakure was relatively new. He's just done Magical Girl Raising Project, Fuga, and then Aria the Scarlet Ammo outside of Skigakure.
I couldn't do Magic Girl Raising Project. One of my old friends tried to get me into that show.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was Madoka Magica 2.0.
I mean, I liked Madoka Magica.
It was.
It was like. It was basically a
aggressively
clone of Madoka
mediocre.
I mean, so was
I'd
Selector
say.
Recross, and I liked that.
It wasn't as cool as Selector Recross.
Oh, and Selector Recross wasn't all that cool.
I'd say like, it makes a 5 out of 10. Like
Selector Recross got
maybe
a
a
6.
low 6. Yeah, it's middling for sure. Had some cool ideas, but yeah.
Fair enough. I might check it out anyway, just because I like those kinds of shows.
Yeah, if you like sort of any of the tangible details, grimdark elements, death games, magical girls, stuff like that.
Digibros, cute girls do suffering category is pretty in my book.
It is not bad, so if anything in it holds an inherent appeal for you, you'll probably find something to get out of it. Though I would recommend Yuki Yuna is a hero.
Yeah, that's on my list.
If you're looking for those grimdark magical girl series, it just got a second season and a prequel season.
Interesting.
This last season.
Speaking of second seasons, Overlord Season 2.
I never watched season 1. I have good taste.
Oh, fight me, son. No,
Except I don't know. I've heard it's actually like decent. I'm just memeing. I don't know how good it is.
I haven't watched any of the second season yet, so I wouldn't know.
It's definitely one of the less exciting Madhouse productions this season. Overlord is though, because they've also got the card captor, but then the journey to the province Neverland, the journey to the place far away, whatever bullshit, Antarctica trip. Anime.
A place further than the universe.
Sero Yoi Motu Basho.
Yeah.
Sora Yori Motoi Basho.
Show.
That show.
That show looks watchable.
Looks pretty.
It's pretty good. It's
from the first episode, it looks like it's got potential.
Honestly, I saw the art style and I was just like, oh, it's got the white outlines. This is gonna be a show that I love. Because
no, go ahead.
Oh, well, because
I was just gonna say there are worse reasons to like a show. Alex, what were
No,
you gonna
white
say?
outlines are the best reason to like the show. Tsuki ga kirei, horo musuko.
Exactly.
I'm done. That's all you need.
Yep.
So what you really like about this mo? Oh, the white outlines. I mean, like story wise. I mean, the white outlines really added a lot, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they were great story beats. That one episode where they had to go on that journey to Antarctica so that people couldn't see their white outlines. Call them freaks for having white outlines.
But the director...
That would be the dumbest show ever. I'm just like, everybody has black outlines except for like 5 characters have white outlines, and then they get made fun
That
of
would be cool.
for it.
That would be great.
That would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Opinions on Citrus. Has anyone gotten around to watching that?
No.
I have not yet, though. I am relatively
meant
well
to
entrenched
today,
in the
but-
Yuri community. So Citrus is like one of the most popular Yuri series out there, primarily because it's pretty trashy and like borderline rapey. Shame. So
Why are all Yuri and Yaoi series rapey?
No, Yuri, it's actually relatively uncommon. This just happens to be like a more male gazy Yuri. It's relatively highly sexualized. And so like that's the one that's getting an anime adaptation, but nonetheless you sort of got to root for its success, because unlike with Boys Love and Yaoi stuff, Yuri has not really made a huge jump to anime in that same way. And so the success of Yuri anime works will sort of encourage further adaptation of them.
I concur. Yeah, because Yaoi shows have done great, like in the anime adaptation.
Yuri on
Fujoshi-
Ice, like, basically cemented it, like, oh, this stuff sells a lot.
Oh yeah.
Whereas Yuri just hasn't had that moment.
We're still all waiting on it.
I mean,
Well, whatchamacallit was close, but it kind of flopped towards the end. Last year, winter 2016.
What was it? Was you talking a Yuri show?
Yeah, it was a Yuri show. It was the one where they both like are magical girls.
Flip Flappers?
Flip Flappers, thank you.
Yeah.
That one was so good, and they just like, from what I heard, what happened was they changed directors last minute.
The writer left.
Or was it writers? Writers,
and
something like that.
She expressed, some unhappiness with how it went, how the series itself went after her departure. But then, from what else I have heard, the sort of story had already been finalized and laid out by the time she left. So that departure probably shouldn't have made much of a material impact upon how the series actually went. So, like, as easy as it is to attribute things to that departure, probably not necessarily the most accurate picture of what went down.
Well, I'm going to attribute it anyway.
Yeah, we don't care about what actually happened. We care about what feels good.
Does that make a good narrative, Pedro? Then no.
No, you're right on that point. Unless you're crafty and you make your narrative into, like, the narrative people were wrong about. So then you get to both tell that narrative and then do the unmasking, but actually it was false. You get a 2 for 1.
Did Flip Flappers have white outlines? No, I rest my case.
Boom. Busted. No, I just feel like Flip Flappers was the show that was closest, but it was the same year Yuri on Ice came out, so Yuri on Ice just dominated that season.
I'm not sure Yuri on or Flip Flappers' relative obscurity was in any way a result of Yuri on Ice, but yeah.
I don't know, man. Whenever there's a knockout show, I've picked up on this. One of my favorite things is going out to seasons where there was a show that just dominated the season, and then looking through the lesser known shows, and you'll find some gems, man.
I think that's sort of a phenomenon that's the case irrespective of having a huge hit within their same season, though, for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well,
do you think people are gonna remember Girls' Last Tour from last season? What was the biggest hit
some
last
people
season?
will.
It
It hit hard. What were you saying?
Huh? I asked what the biggest hit last season was. It was Ancient Magus Bride.
Yeah, right? I was gonna say Mahotsukai no Yome.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's not huge in the way that Yuri on Ice was.
Well, I mean, it's not Yuri on Ice huge, but Yuri on Ice isn't, top of its season huge. It's top of the year huge.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That's just kind of my point. Is that I find that when there's a massive show top of the year, like you were saying, is that generally all the focus is on that show, and then some shows just get left behind that don't deserve it. One of my favorite examples is Ixion Saga DT, which I know none of you have seen. It's a great show, super funny, and it came out the same season. I think Sword Art Online came out, and another massive show. So no one saw it.
This was actually on my plan to watch for some reason. I don't know.
It's so good.
I don't know when I found out about it or what element. Oh, I think it's got a trans character. That's why.
Yeah, it has a trans character. But it's such a great show. It really is one of the funniest shows I've seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just got buried. No one's seen it. If you look on Mao, it's got 20,000 followers or something stupidly low. It's just kind of one of those things it's
65,000 actually.
Well, that's a lot higher than it used to be. But to say that there wasn't some sort of, not foul play, but bad luck to it, what I think is
then again, there were a lot of shows during the season it aired that got big, so I wouldn't attribute sort of its being drowned out to just Sword Art Online. It is one of the least watched shows of this season, but just this season. You said Sword Art Online was airing. I'd imagine that was this.
Let me see what exactly it was.
Specifically, there was Psycho-Pass, Chunibyo, Pet Girl of Sakuroso, which is pretty big. Those three, and then you had Magi, Batum was relatively popular. Shinsekai Yori, you had K, which had a decent following. Tons of JoJo season 1.
JoJo, To Love Ru Darkness.
Heavy hitters this season. Yeah. It was a tough time. Yeah, for
Girls in Panzer. God, this season was fucking great. Holy shit!
Let's all travel back.
Can we just go back to fall 2012 now, guys?
Yes, please.
And the first season of TQ.
Where's that at?
Down near the bottom.
All the way at the bottom. Oh, yeah, okay, I got it. Actually, that has less followers than Ixion Saga does.
Yeah. Short anime are a decent bit more obscure. So yeah, this is a big tangent, but the conclusive result of that tangent is, dang, fall 2012 was stacked.
Yeah, fall 2012 was a fucking good season. Holy crap, I'm jealous. I don't think I watched seasonal anime back then, but that would have been a great season to follow.
Any season with Sword Art Online is a good season.
Well, this was Sword Art Online wasn't on this one, I don't think.
Sword Art Online's second half of its first season
second half was on
it.
it.
It had started.
Jeez.
It had started airing the previous season. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, that was a stacked fucking season. That's awful.
Yeah, not much else to say about that.
Anyway, guys, I think it's about time for us to head back to class. Anyway, it's about time to wrap up. Any other last minute things?
Nope.
I'm all right.
Nope. Sweet deal. Oh, this has been Manime Matt.
Explanation point?
The Pedantic Romantic.
Man, math whiz.
See you guys next time.
Yay. Bye.
Peace.